Hello everybody, my name is Catherine Shope, and today I'm going to be presenting ivory carving and painting from the Middle Byzantine Empire. Middle Byzantine art is classified as art that surfaced from 843 to 1204 AD. The Middle Byzantine period began with the ending of iconoclasm, which literally translates to image breaking, and ended with the sack of Constantinople in 1204 AD. One thing that Middle Byzantine artists produced that became very popular during the period was costly carved ivory. In earlier periods, ivory was normally carved in a diptych, which is composed of two panels. The Middle Byzantine artists introduced a new way to carve ivory, which was a triptych, which is 3 panels. These triptychs often replaced icons for use in personal devotion time and prayer. One example is one of the most famous Byzantine ivories, the Carvig triptych. This triptych depicts a scene of supplication with multiple figures and medallions. You can see that the two figures in the upper middle portion appear as intercessors, praying on behalf of the viewer to the Savior sitting on the throne. The figures are depicted in a more natural and classical spirit, which was an important stylistic approach of the Middle Byzantine period. During the Middle Byzantine period, enthusiasm for picturing New Testament figures and events was universal. Lamentation is an example of this new enthusiasm. In the picture, people are seen grieving and mourning over Christ's dead body after the crucifixion. Mary, the mother of Jesus, is holding on to Jesus' lifeless body while pressing her face close to his. Joseph of Arimathea and Nicodemus are seen kneeling by Jesus' feet, while St. John is holding Jesus' hand. The facial expressions on everyone present are just what you would expect to see, looks of grief and sorrow. So even though Mary and John were not actually present during the entombment of Christ, the artists of Lamentations decided to include them to intensify the emotional impact of Christ's death. Another painting from the Middle Byzantine period is the Paris Psalter, which is actually a page from the book of the Psalms of David. This piece reasserts the artistic values of the Greco-Roman past. The psalmist David is surrounded by many different kinds of animals, sheep, goats, and his dog. David is playing his harp in what seems to be the outskirts of the city. David is thought to be compared to the Greek hero Orpheus, who could charm animals with his music. 3 other human-like figures appear in the painting. Melody is leaning over David's shoulder, and Echo is peering out from behind a column in the background. The personification of musical elements and the closeness of those elements to David suggests that David is a very skilled musician. The red human-like figure in the bottom right-hand corner represents the mountain of Bethlehem. The inclusion of these allegorical figures are a result of the artist partly translating a Greco-Roman painting into one with the Byzantine style. With the beginning of the Middle Byzantine period came the end of iconoclasm. Demands for icons and images began to increase by the thousands. In the 11th century, clergymen began to show icons in a hierarchical order with Christ at the top. The most renowned Middle Byzantine icon is probably the Vladimir Virgin. This painting is of the Virgin Mary holding baby Jesus close to her face, contemplating the future her son will have to live. You see an intimate portrayal of the mother-child relationship in this piece as Mary holds baby Jesus close to her face. Contemplating the future sacrifice of her son would make any mother hold her child close. This renowned icon has been in many different places. It was thought to have been above altars in churches and private chapels. The black stuff around the edges is most likely due to incense and smoke that was burned during services. When the icon was taken to Russia, the Russians actually believed that it saved the city of Kazan from an invasion and all of Russia from Poland in the 17th century. With suggestive power like this, the icon was surely held in the highest regards during the period. It served as a historical symbol of the religious and cultural mission to the Slavic world. From ivory carving to painting, Middle Byzantine art comes in many forms, all of which have something in common. That is, they all include biblical characters. Now, this is probably the result of the growing demand for icons after the end of iconoclasm. That concludes my presentation. Thank you very much for watching.